I just sold another multi in Hanover for almost $1 million recently. I bought a tax sale for 20 grand back in 2012. I had teachers tell me I'd be a failure. The supercar thing didn't really happen until the rent roll really picked up, and I was starting to really net proceeds money every single month. If you bring a lot of dead weight around you, it's just going to slow you down. You need to get your foundations right. Know how to buy, learn how to rehab, and manage that rehab properly, and then learn how to sell. If you can get those 3 basics down, and you can put all 3 perfectly together, you got to win. I mix it up.
Well, welcome back to the Investor Unite podcast, where we talk all things real estate, business, and entrepreneurship.
If you are looking to ignite your real estate investing, then join us at Investors Unite. And on today's podcast, we have a very special guest, someone who was formerly on a Grant Cardone podcast, so that's pretty impressive. Done well over 10,000 flips by now. You might be well above that, because that was a while ago. And basically the Ryan Pineda of Pennsylvania.
Much bigger.
Yeah, the amount of flips and quantity you're doing is absolutely absurd. But yeah, without further ado, Ray Abboud. Thank you.
Appreciate
you going, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming to me.
Yeah, that's a short drive. 45 minutes. Not too bad.
Yeah.
So I want to start off by asking, what was it like meeting Grant Cardone?
It's awesome. He's very talented. Yeah. It's amazing the amount of knowledge he has. As young entrepreneurs, it's amazing to see what a veteran of 10 years in the business knowledge-wise has versus someone that's 20 years or 30 years or 40 years.
Yeah.
I would say he's one of the most impressive people that I've met when it comes to the real estate game. Now, granted, he does mostly syndicating in apartment complexes, but what he does is very impressive. And it's very hard to get on his, Ask the Pro or, it's impossible.
Yeah, I was even secure that.
He just liked me, and I kept going to some of the events, and he kept. Actually, First Growth Con, I sat pretty much in the front row.
Oh yeah,
right in the same row as Grant. Yeah, it was pretty neat.
That's awesome.
You got quite the experience too, so that was definitely able to help you out there.
Yeah, he knew I had the rental portfolio already in place. You got to remember, most people. Now, granted, there's guys with thousands a unit, right?
Yeah.
I built a portfolio up there, just over 350 units in pretty much 2009, 10, 11, and 12. Yeah. And then I held most of those units until 2020, 2021, 2022, and I sold a bunch of those units off. Right. Since then, I've kind of evolved into buying this the apartment complex, and you got hosting.
The majority of those, they were single family, correct?
I mixed it up.
Yeah.
Most people told me back in 2009, 10, 11, 12, don't buy single family, only buy multis.
Yeah.
I don't listen to anyone's advice.
Yeah.
Okay. I mixed it up. I did a ton of single family buying. I did a ton of multi-family buying, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 units, 6 units, 8 units, 12 units, Hanover, York, main primary Hanover and York area. Okay. I had a lot of York City stuff. I had over 150 units in York City alone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Back in 2000, 10, 11, 12, that was a lot.
Diversifying the portfolio.
Yeah, so I mixed it up. And I will say, everyone said the multis would be the best cash out ones. I just sold another multi in Hanover for almost $1 million recently. I bought a tax sale for 20 grand back in 2012. So, when you look at those kind of numbers, and everyone's like, well, you must have put a lot of money into it. Yeah, I did back then, but I also collected 10 years of rent. So you could do the math. It made sense, it was a 5 unit. So, I mix it up. I don't put the eggs in one basket. Grant was a bbig multi-unit. He hates single family. Right. When I initially met Grant in 2016, I talked about single families, and he said, I don't know. I don't really know anyone that buys that kind of stuff. Well, as you guys know, after COVID, single families went crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciation was ridiculous.
I was selling packets of 10, 20.
You're working with some bigger hedge funds too, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, how was that?
They close out quick and buy quick.
Yeah, that's how it was, all that 2020 and 2021 era. It was just they were buying absolutely everything.
Yeah. It was very good. I took a bunch of stuff that I had and sold it for a lot of money.
Yeah. Nice. We're going to get into the expensive side of things because we know you like your supercars.
Yeah.
But we also want to talk about your story because we personally don't know how you got into real estate, how you started your way with investing. So.
Well, I'll tell you, I went to a school in Pittsburgh for college. I went locally here to Suburban. Mm-hmm. After I graduated, from suburban, had terrible grades. I barely made it through high school.
Yeah.
I had teachers telling me I'd be a failure, every day. English teacher, math teacher, all of those guys would tell me that.
Of course.
And I ended up getting into a school in Pittsburgh called La Roche College in North Hills. It was a small college. Okay. I went there for 3 years, and then my junior year, I actually dropped out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How were your grades?
Terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
what was your major?
Marketing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was terrible grades.
I have a very similar story. My college was in Pittsburgh, too. I went there for 1 year and dropped out, but also marketing.
Yeah, I went 3 years because it's kind of forced by the parents.
Right.
Yeah.
So I did that for 3 years, and I literally got in my car and drove home, and I said, you know what? I know I like cars. I know I love real estate. I like real estate. So, okay, what am I going to do? So I got into both businesses. Actually, I'm in the automotive business, and I'm in the real estate space. And I've had my real estate license for 25 years, and I've had my dealer license for 22 years.
Oh, wow. I never knew you had your dealer license.
Yeah, I have multiple dealerships.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
Locally?
yeah, I don't like talking about it either.
That's okay. We'll dive deep into that. It's a real
yeah.
estate podcast.
Yeah, so yeah, I had a passion for both, and so, you mentioned supercars. That's one of my things as a young kid, man, 18, 19, 20. I mean, this, you had the posters up with the Countach and the Ferrari and, and the McLarens and, so it's those things. I knew that I couldn't be in just the car business to be able to afford those kind of things. Yeah. So I knew that real estate would provide that. And actually, believe it or not, the supercar thing didn't really happen until the rent roll really picked up, and I was starting to really net proceed money every single month.
That's something I wanted to ask you about, because obviously we're still in the beginning stages where we don't have a lump sum of money just in our bank accounts. But at what point did you feel it was comfortable enough for you to then go out and buy those materialistic objects?
Well, as you know, we had a really incredible real estate market in 06 and 07. It was really good before the crash.
Yeah.
And I was selling real estate like crazy. So I saved a lot of money up, and I took that money that I saved up, and that's what I ended up using to buy my initial pack of single family homes.
Okay.
Gotcha.
As I bought those, I rented them, and then someone came to me and said, hey, I got this idea. I'm like, what? They said, you can refi out of these. I'm like, what? I didn't know that. I pay cash for these.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can refi out of these. So a local bank I think it was Greystone Bank back in the day. It was a local bank here in New York. They're not around anymore.
Yeah.
I met with a lady there, and she said, how much do you have in them? What'd you pay for them? I mean, of course I got them for nothing, but I knew I had construction experience. Yeah. So I redid each house and then ended up renting for $800-900 a month. And so that's what started it. I mean, that was in 2009. Yeah. When it came to, now I had other rentals before that, but as the market peaked in 06, 07,
buy as many as you can.
I didn't have that many. I had maybe 10.
Yeah.
I ended up selling all those off, except for the one that I lived in when I came back from college. I had a 2 unit. I lived in one unit, and I collected rent on the other one. Wow. So I lived for kind of free until I built my first house.
Yeah.
So I ended up keeping that 2 unit the whole way until 2022. I think I sold that.
That's awesome.
So
I bet you made a killing on that one.
I did.
So
it was in the suburban school district.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was near my parents where they had their business and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what was what age were you when you bought your first property?
21, and it was Glen Rock Savings that lent me the money back then. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I know a little bit of your backstory here. Dad from Lebanon.
Yeah.
Mom from Australia.
Yep.
Right. They came over, didn't have too much money, so I just don't want the viewers to get the wrong idea. My parents gifted me all this money. I was able to go ahead and. Right.
I built it all from scratch. I mean, my parents did very well. As immigrants that came here, I'm the second generation.
Yeah.
They did well. My mom just retired after having her salon, cutting hair for 40 some years.
Yeah.
My dad was, a tailor for 50 some years. He's almost 85 this year.
Oh, wow.
So, they did okay. I mean, as kids, we didn't have any money.
Right.
As we got older, they started building their business, but it was in other sectors. It was in hair. And it was in, tailoring, and my dad dabbled a little bit in house buying and selling.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's kind of where I got that ambition initially from, is when I saw my dad would go, now he did the old school, he'd go to an auction, fix it up, and sell it.
Yeah.
I don't do it that way, obviously. I have better ways of acquiring real estate.
And you also, so you got your real estate license right after college? You started working?
I dropped out my junior year, came home, and that's when I got home, the first thing I did was literally do the pre-classes.
Okay.
So at some point in time, if I'm not wrong, I believe they kind of made you make a decision, where it's like you either had to sell the houses or you had to do the fix and flips. Right?
Okay, that was fast forward. So I was at Coldwell Banker, Bob Yost back then. Bob Yost was wonderful. He did deal with. He passed away, and then it came into a new organization, and it was called the Home Sale Group.
Okay.
I was there for 12 and a half years as an agent.
Oh, so this is a little while after.
Yeah, this is way after, you know. So I was there for 12 and a half years, and after that, I got approached right after the market crash kind of thing, and they said, hey, you have a choice. What do you want to do? Do you want to sell real estate, or do you want to flip real estate? And I said, well, you guys giving me a choice here?
Yeah.
And they said, well, yeah, you have a choice.
It's crazy that they can do that.
Yeah.
Well, back then they were scared of people that bought and sold real estate, you know, for flipping, but I don't know why they did though. That was 2009.
Possibly thinking they can maybe like take advantage and get these houses for a cheaper price, which would then result in a smaller broker fee, possibly.
I don't know, but a lot of real estate agents flip. You guys know this. I mean, it's like the new thing. You know, I think that you have to be fair with people. And you know, one thing I will say, I've been using a real estate disclosure. I'm hopefully you guys are too. I can give you a copy of mine if you want. I review it every year with my legal counsel. And we upgrade it, but I have a disclosure.
Just to state that you're like licensed. And, yes. We make sure to put that on everything.
But I've been using that for I've had my license for 25 years. 20 years I've been using a form like that.
Yeah.
Right.
20 years.
Okay.
So the thing is not just about the form though. When you give them that form to sign it, you also got to explain it to them. And most people don't even care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you just did your due diligence by being upfront with them. A lot of these wholesalers, like they play this game, you know, I don't want to tell you what I paid. I don't even, like when I get locked up, I'm like, hey, I paid this. This is what I want. Do you want to buy it?
Yeah.
And I tell the seller the same thing. Hey, look, your home is not a candidate for me to buy, renovate it, and resell it. But I can sell it for you. I can wholesale it for you and explain to them what wholesale is.
Yeah.
And they don't care. You know, they're like, okay, I'll give you 30, 40, 50, 60 days.
Right.
And then we end up doing about it. You do about a dozen wholesale deals a month.
Yeah.
You know,
because it's almost the same as to the seller. It's like almost the same as a realtor.
It's still the aggravation. They don't want to deal with the realtor, the showings and stuff. So a lot of times, if I just if we're going to wholesale, you guys know this.
Yeah.
You get a lockbox on. I tell my team that in the call center every time. Get a lockbox or get permission to get in there with 24 hours notice.
Yep.
And maybe just let it take the dog for a walk or get out of the house for a little bit.
Right.
And we'll try and keep these showings down to a minimum. Or what we will try and do is make a window on one particular day and do the showings with a 2-hour window.
That's what we've been doing recently.
And then boom, I get a fire and you're done and they're happy, you know? Exactly. At the end of the day, then everyone's happy.
So what's your operation looking like now? Like how many cold callers do you have? Are they overseas or are they US based?
A little bit of both. I keep it streamlined. I don't here's the thing, you know, I'm not big on 100 employees, okay, or 50 employees or 30 employees. This business, as you guys know, and as you're a real estate agent, you have to fence your own territory. You know, you got to make your own waves. And I would say, you know, if you bring a lot of dead weight around you, it's just going to slow you down. Yeah. So, like, I know other guys in my business that hire people, they train them, and then they're gone in 30, 40, 60, 90, 120 days.
Huge waste of time.
And all they're doing is wasting their time. Yeah. Right. You know, they want to, you know, they want to talk about the formality and the how to build a team. But the problem is the person you brought on doesn't want to build the team. Yeah. They're gone in 90 days. They're gone in 20 days.
Their turnover rate's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I don't I was speaking at an event in Destin, Florida, you know, last winter.
I love Destin.
Yeah. And I was one of the speakers there, and I was talking, and the guy before me, there's two guys, real buff gym guys, really nice gym. I looked them up, and they were like asking the guy before me, hey, what would you do if, you know, I want to get into wholesaling and doing maybe a fix and flip? And this guy's like, well, you need to hire, you know, this guy before me, you need to go interview people, hire a manager, you know, just
for a simple wholesale.
He told the guys like all this stuff he wanted to do. Yeah. In order for them to get into the real estate game. And you know what? I got up there and the other guy was gone, obviously. And I was like, hey, I'm sorry to offend everybody with this, but you guys are two fit guys, right? And you have a successful business. Yeah. My advice to you is just go start hammering doors and hammering the phone. Right. Yeah. Okay. You don't need to go hire a manager and build a team so you can say you have a CFO or whatever. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. No. Go out and make some money first. and then make the decision on what you want to do. So that's how that ended up with that. That was a little awkward for at the moment, but
right. Another good piece of advice that I've heard at some point in time, I don't know from who or anything, but was that anytime you're looking to hire somebody for a position within your business, make sure that you actually already have a good understanding of what that position entails and like have some experience at least of doing that position, because then you're able to train that person. Whereas like if you go to immediately to hire somebody on, and sure, they may have done this for another company in the past, but how do you know that they're going to be doing it to whatever standards you're expecting them to if you've never done it previously, right?
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I'm lucky. I mean, my employees here that you saw just leave.
They're great.
I mean, one's been with me for over 10 years.
Wow.
The other one's been with me for 7 years. You know, my other people that work out of the call center did other jobs for me. So they've been with me for 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, Roger, one of my guys, Roger, works for me. He's been with me for over 15 years. Travis, over 15 years.
Do you think that has to do somewhat with like your company culture?
You know, I don't really want to say that because a lot of guys talk about the culture. Yeah. I don't micromanage, and I don't hold meetings every week. Like, either you're going to do your job or you're not.
Right.
You're either going to make money or you're not.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm a little different with my management style because I don't think managing and trying to a lot of these other guys do a different style than me.
Right.
You know, but that's kind of, I think, why they hire people and they train them and then they're gone in 90 days. I mean,
it's because you don't like that. Nobody likes that feeling of having somebody over your shoulder 24/7. Like,
no,
I know what I'm saying.
Especially young people, you don't want.
No, not at all.
Do this. You guys already think you know everything already. So the last thing you want to do is have someone tell you what to do. Now, granted, if it's incredible, like, trust me, I'm a
sponge. If you're going to give me some advice,
yeah, I'm a sponge. Trust me, I'm a sponge. When I get around, like I can tell you some great people I've been around that make a lot of money. And I'm a sponge, okay? I want to hear everything.
Write everything down.
I jot it all down. I mean, you can see my notes. I mean, it's just crazy. But you get around the right people that give you the right advice. Honestly, it's life-changing. Like, if I could go back in time and have someone at 24 years old when I was 24 give me advice that I know now, I mean, it'd be incredible, you know?
Feel free to let loose, because I'm taking this.
We got our notebook.
You guys are doing a good job. I mean, the thing is, this kind of stuff takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
As that could also take away from your, your wholesale business, your retail business. Mm-hmm. See, me, like, I don't, like, if you guys really watch my stories, all I post is my projects.
Yeah.
You know, the apartment stuff that I'm doing, and then I'm on vacation.
Yeah. Some cars.
And I have tons of cars. Yeah. Now, I have good project managers that have been with me for a long time. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of the contractors that work with me have been with me since 2001, 2002. Yeah. So it's a long time. Yeah. You know, when the bubble happened and everyone stopped rehabbing, they're like, I'm just going to wholesale. Mm-hmm. Ray kept going with the retail work. Because I just think the retail work is where the big money is. And it's a sustainable business where wholesale is up and down. I mean, I can go back and tell you 06 and 07, I was doing $500,000 in wholesale fees a year.
Wow.
Okay, in 06, 07. No one talked about wholesale in 06, 07. No. But guess what? I was just doing it. Yeah. No one talked about it.
It's working in silence.
Me and my partner, Abe Khan from Men & Williams, I don't know if you know him. Him and I were killing it, making $500,000 each. Wholesaling back in 06 and 07. And I had my license doing licensed sales too.
Yeah. Did you ever run into any issues back then? Because I'm sure not many people were familiar with it.
The transfer tax stuff. But we just paid the double transfer tax. We didn't care. We were making so much money. Yeah. It was just unbelievable.
Do you ever get nervous? You do a flip and the property just continues to sit on the market?
I have a couple of those that happens here and there. I was lucky. When the boom happened, you know, a lot of guys got stuck with real estate. I was pretty much down to not many properties at all. Yeah. So a lot of guys took whatever they couldn't sell and made it rentals. Not me. I was buying, renovating, and selling in a 90-day window.
Wow. So what really drew you to flipping versus like building that rental portfolio or really focusing on wholesaling?
Back in the day, so that you're talking 20 years ago when no one was doing this, right? Really, you had guys that would go to public auctions, and that was really the guys I'd compete with.
Right.
Yeah. You know, I would say, I mean, even back then, there was really no other competitors. Now we got competitors here in New York, you know, but there was no, 20 years ago.
There's a lot now.
There's a lot now, but back 20, 21, 22 years ago, there was no one else. There was old guys that would just buy and sell some real estate, the old school head guys, and, you know, and there really was no established businesses with office space. And, you know, so back then it was a lot different, but I would say, you know, I was really focused on, back then I knocked on a lot of doors.
Yeah.
I did a lot of doors. And I made 100 phone calls a day when I was a young guy, and I was your age.
That's good.
100 phone calls a day was my role, and that may not seem like a lot of calls, but try and make 100 phone calls a day. Tell me how you make out.
Oh, we've been there.
Okay, it's time consuming.
It is.
Yeah, there was a point in time.
Okay.
where-
By the way, there's no Mojo dialer back then.
Yeah, I know. That was all hand.
That was pick it up,
completely
hit the
different.
button, dial it, hang it back up, pick it up. That's the way it was done.
Yeah.
Okay,
It is.
I did 100 of those.
That's impressive.
Okay,
So that's like
as an agent. Now, granted, I don't know if you guys look, but as a newer agent, I had rookie of the year, and then I was doing 15, 20, 25 million in sales when there was no social media, there was no Facebook, there was no Instagram, there was Craigslist.
It was just mainly like word of mouth, you think?
But I got my name out there a bit.
Yeah.
It's a straight hustler.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Right. So as you were saying, like 22, 25 years ago, obviously there was not as much competition as there is now.
Oh, there's lots of competition, but the thing is it doesn't bother me because for me,
Right.
everyone talks about the shortage of deals. There's no shortage of deals.
Well, I was going to ask then, what kind of advice would you give to somebody like ourselves who are younger, trying to get into the game now when it's already kind of at that point of like every house has already been hit by some investment company?
Yeah, you got to ramp up what I told you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
got to ramp up what I told you.
Some more quantity, pretty much.
Yeah, because the thing is that quantity will lead to a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, deal. Don't get greedy. Deal doesn't have to be 50 grand. It could be a 10 grand deal. It could be a 5 grand deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Our call center, which I told you about and you've seen it, our goal there is 12 deals a month. Okay. And the bottom line is most of the guys that are coming and buying from me used to buy from other people. They don't buy from them anymore because they got
Right.
they got too greedy.
Yeah.
You know what I do out there? It's 10 grand a deal over. I do 12 a month.
You just do a flat fee on every one of them?
10 grand over. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh, yes, that's
I'm operating for free.
Right.
It's free rent.
Cumberland County.
It's free rent.
Yeah.
It's a couple staff members that have been with me for a long, long time.
It's a win-win for
I used to have a marketing agency. I don't know if you knew that back in the day. So those employees now work there for me doing that. And they also the ones that coordinated my real estate program. I don't you have a real estate program as well. So they're the ones that created it. They're the ones that manage it. They're the ones that help me do the sales of it.
That's awesome.
And he's an author, guys. So check out his book. We'll make sure to link it down.
Yeah, cheap Amazon, less than $13.
Yeah.
And it gives good. You read it?
I did read it. Yeah.
I mean, I did that a couple years ago, and it gives you
a good layout of what to do, go to the courthouse and stuff, and
Right.
make sure you sync with an attorney
It's
and
like very
everything.
tactical steps.
It's the things that I've done over the years. Tax sales were a huge thing for me. That's where I made a lot of money. The thing is, everyone has to create their own way to get ahead. What works for me may not work for you.
Right.
What works for you may not work for you. A new agent in the business, what I did may not work for them.
And that's good.
And people don't say that. People don't say that.
Yeah, because they say just work in your backyard, but see you're in just about every county,
like
in
3
PA,
states, right?
plus also Florida.
Well, I mean, so I do all 64 counties in Pennsylvania, which people don't know that. I do upstate New York.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Okay, I do a lot of upstate New
Do a
York.
lot in Jersey too, right?
I do Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland.
What about Florida, though?
I do in Florida. Now, Florida's a little different. So I sold cash now licensing to one in Fort Worth, Florida, and now I got South Florida coming.
Okay.
And what happens is I get to see every deal. They paid me a flat fee for using my name and my marketing.
Oh, wow.
So is that what that means?
So yeah. So you saw I've been putting the invites out,
Yeah.
trying to help the new guys.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're young, but they're energetic. The one guy that I have in South Florida, he's a killer.
Yeah.
He was in Jersey,
Yeah.
knew nothing about real estate, engineer, and he did 30-some deals his first year. Wholesale.
That's awesome.
Okay,
Down in Florida or Jersey?
Jersey.
Jersey.
He moved to Florida.
Yeah.
He's got 7 or 8 deals right now pending.
Wow.
So I can't talk about the schematics of that, but I can tell you this, that, I get a flat license fee for the name,
Yeah.
and then I help them. And then I also get to be involved in deals if I want to be involved in deals. Like if we come across a super duper flip, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Because my crews will travel from here. I've gone to Maine before and done flips. Okay, I've gone to
That's a
Maine.
whole nother level, right?
I've gone to Maine. I don't care.
I hope you made a good margin.
I have 6 figures out of Maine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, on one deal.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was just last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bought that from a government sale, and I can share those with you. But
I'd love to see it.
government sale. Sent my guys here 17-hour drive, and they stayed up there, right on the Canadian border.
Wow.
renovated it 4 weeks. Called a local. I called like 5 local realtors. Man, ever tried doing that out of town? It's hard to get anyone to call you back.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't know your name out
They
there.
don't call you back.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got a realtor up there, listed it, closed it, 6 figures
Good job.
in under 4 months.
And no one's willing to do that. Like they say, you
I
gotta do what
travel.
others want to get what others can't.
Like just today, you said you hit 3 different counties?
Yeah, I
Drive
don't
around?
care. I'll drive anywhere. I'll fly anywhere. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, as long as you know what you're doing, get good at what you're doing, and then pick the spots that you like. The South Florida thing and the Fort Walton thing made sense. You know, for me to not franchise but license them,
Yeah.
it made sense for me to do that.
I kind of want to dive a little bit deeper into that. I have more questions related to like flipping and building your team, but about the licensing, that's not something that we're too familiar with because our company's not at that point yet where we're able to sell our name off. But how does that necessarily work? Like you're able to just sell your license.
I had the domains already. I've had them for
Right.
10 years. It's just starting to mature now. So
Would you have one for each state?
I do.
That's
job.
hilarious.
Yeah, I did it like 10 years ago.
Okay.
I knew I would do this eventually, but
Yeah.
you understand, like you guys know, when you're wholesaling and fixing and flipping, it keeps you very busy locally. It
Oh
does.
my gosh, yeah.
You know, and I'm very involved in my projects. I'm not like one of the guys that just says, oh, you know, I got project managers and I don't check on the stuff. No, I go to every one of my jobs. Now, I got project managers, but I go to every one of my jobs. Now, some people are saying that's a waste of my time, but I enjoy it. So why not do it?
Right.
I'm taking a car, I'm driving there, I'm checking it out.
Taking a nice car.
Probably,
Yeah. Social media content.
I get to make some social media content, you know.
so I still work at the
I
end
don't know if you guys saw when I took the Lambo down the dirt road.
Oh, I didn't.
No,
see
I
that
was
one.
listening.
Yeah, and that was kind of interesting. Yeah.
I saw you took it to that restaurant last night.
Yeah.
That's 2 nights ago with the filet and the.
Oh, yeah. I did that. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, to the paddock over here.
Yeah.
Now, with
Mix it up.
your contractors, like, how do you find solid ones that's gonna drive the main? And
Well,
Worked for me for a long time, 10, 15 years. These guys work for me.
are they in a house or are they subbed?
Some of them are on payroll,
Yeah.
and some of them are sub, but they're sub with their own company, but they won't work for anyone else.
Okay.
But you got to be careful with that because they need to work for other people because then it kind of gets into that
'Cause you
boy
need-
status. So I tell them, keep your business card, keep your license,
Yeah.
do some side work on the weekends or evenings or whatever you want to do.
Right.
But I'm their bread and butter, so that's why they stay around for so long.
Yeah.
And I never let them down.
Yeah. You always have continuous work for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How many flips are you doing a year on average, I think?
Retail flips. I have to look at my flip sheets out there. I think I'm working on like 2 dozen right now. So that's usually about my normal, to about 2 dozen at a time.
Yeah.
So
That'll last you 90 days roughly.
last 90 days,
Yeah.
all states.
Yeah.
He's like, it keeps going.
He's like all countries?
No, not all countries. I thought about that. I probably did in the first quarter of the year. I probably closed out almost 20 retail flips.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's between upstate New York, PA,
All that, yeah.
and it's multiple counties. I told you all the counties I'm doing right now that I'm working on. So
Yeah, that's just
It's-
mind blowing.
yeah, I mean, but buy them for nothing, renovate them, and then turn around, sell them FHA, VA,
That's the
USDA.
scary thing, though, because like if you're in the middle of nowhere,
People buy them FHA, USDA.
you gotta
Yeah.
find that one specific buyer.
I was gonna
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
I was gonna say, how about because we run into this sometimes when it's like in the boondocks of Pennsylvania. And there's
I love that stuff.
no,
I know.
I'll buy that stuff every day.
You should have bought our Shippensburg property.
I just bought one in Shippensburg downtown, and I got shut down by HARP because it's a historical district.
Oh, no way.
I just got the letter on my desk over there.
no,
I don't know if
this
you
one-
see it over there or not. I got a letter, shutdown letter. And they shut me down.
Yeah, no, ours was in like Royal.
How much was it?
We got it for 60 and then we sold it for 80.
It was a short sale.
How big was it?
Oh,
Roughly 2,000.
You didn't pitch that one to me. You sent me a couple other ones that weren't too good.
I didn't send it to
I would have bought that one.
Yeah.
That one I would have bought. What was retail on that?
like 220 minutes.
I would have bought that. And how much was the rehab, you think?
Oh,
Close to 100.
yeah.
It wouldn't have cost me that much.
Yeah. You can probably save a couple bucks.
I would have
Maybe
sporting it.
Yeah.
We got to do next time.
Yeah, I would have bought that. I mean, I like Shippensburg. Mifflinburg,
solid area.
Halifax. I did one in Halifax 6-7 months ago.
Like Halifax?
Oh my God, I killed it on that thing.
Yeah.
Bought it for 19 grand.
Wow.
Renovated it for 60. Sold it for 211.
Oh my God.
You can look it up in the MLS.
Yeah.
I'll get you the address.
Yeah, good job. So
I like Mifflinburg. I like Mifflinburg too.
Where's that at?
It's outside of Halifax, a little further up.
Okay.
Okay.
So like Perry County.
No, I think it's Dauphin County still, isn't it?
Dauphin County is Halifax.
I don't
know how much higher it goes though.
Yeah, I like all that, like Likens and Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, I like all those little areas.
We stay away from all that. But
Like
Those are the areas you should be calling.
like Shamokin.
You should call all those. Well, Shamokin really sucks.
that's a really bad.
Shamokin sucks. Like, I mean, I bought a bunch of stuff in Shamokin not long ago.
I picked things up.
It sucks. Yeah, I did. It still sucks for a grand.
Still holding on to.
No, I sold them all.
That's a rough.
Yeah, it's not a good area.
All right, so I kind of go back into like the team building though. Like to be able to flip that quantity of properties, like you have to have a pretty substantial team. I know like in-house here you only have 2 girls that are kind of handling a lot of the finances, project management, that kind of stuff. But getting started, that's a lot. Like that's we've never had another person on the podcast who has done anywhere near that number of flips.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, you don't see me like talking about it. I just kind of post my stuff.
Yeah.
And I keep moving because I'm in a hurry, but my project managers are very skilled. One's a skilled carpenter. I mean, he worked for a big company doing project management and just he wanted to not travel because they were like traveling 4 different states. Yeah. So he only will do Pennsylvania, but he'll travel anywhere I want him to in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Of course, I provide him all company trucks, which is nice. The gas card.
And Pennsylvania sounds.
And I don't buy the cheap little Chevy Blazers or the Ford Escapes. I get them real trucks to drive around because those little SUVs are just like, I don't know, they're just little. And the other thing is people don't realize they depreciate so much. Like trucks,
They'll hold value.
That's why I pick trucks. I got a bunch of trucks in the fleet.
Are you leasing those or you buy those outright?
Buy them, tax deduction, roll them, try to get them to about 40, 50,000 miles, trade them and get a new truck. Now, I got a bunch of police interceptors, too. I don't know if you saw that.
I see that.
I got a bunch of those.
Oh, I did see one.
It's great for marketing.
I buy them off in the Municipal.
I actually have a video of one of yours on my phone from a little while
Yeah,
ago. But I was like,
Municipal. I just have a bunch of
It's gonna
cop
catch
cars.
everyone's eyes.
I just got a bunch of cop cars. They're cool.
That's a great idea.
I mean, and if the guy's car goes down there in the shop, they borrow a cop car and drive around.
Yeah, perfect for marketing.
Absolutely. So
They're cheap.
Yeah.
what do you think makes the difference of a company who's, going from like 1 property to 10 properties, 10 to 100, 100 to 1,000, 1,000 to 10,000?
Well, I think we're going to some weird times right now. So I think anyone that goes doing anything that's trying to scale up needs to be really careful because you can scale down real quick.
Yeah.
I think that if you really want to, scale your business, you need to get your foundations right. Know how to buy, learn how to rehab, and manage that rehab properly.
Yeah.
And then learn how to sell. If you can get those 3 basics down, and you can put all 3 perfectly together, you got to win. You get one messed up, you maybe have a win. You get all 3 messed up, you got a loss. So you got to really get the foundations down right. Now, granted, I have project managers do a great job, but they're also working on jobs too. So they have one flip of their own at a time, and they also project manage. They manage their time out. Okay. They either flip to whatever time they have to, or they'll take the certain days and go check jobs. Right. Or they'll say, hey, Ray, did you go? Because they know I go check on stuff. Yeah. So, hey, do you already go here? I already went there today. I was at 7 projects today. Wow.
So what time you start your day at?
So usually every morning, I got a new dog. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No. What kind of dog?
No, Doberman Pinscher.
You did tell me that.
So that takes my time.
We both wanted Doberman.
Yeah. My other one died in November, so I got another rescue. Yeah, I got.
That was my first dog.
First one was a rescue. This one's a rescue from the same rescue. So I get the dog takes a little bit of my time in the morning. If you don't have time for a dog, don't get one. But. So usually till about 8:30 till I get out of the house because of the dog. Before, when I didn't have a dog, I was out of the house at 6:30, 7:30. Yeah. Okay, so 8:30ish, first stop, PA Fitness or Crunch. Right. Mm-hmm. I'm 51 years old, going on 52. People don't know that.
You're looking good.
Yeah.
Right. It's because for the last 25 years, I've done nothing but every morning is my first thing I do. Yeah. Before all these social media people talked about, I'm going to work out and do this.
All these fancy
Guess what?
routines.
You're already
2 years old, and I've been doing it for 25 years. Every morning was the first thing I did in my schedule. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. That's true. Okay? So people always miss that. You go 25 years without working out, and then all of a sudden you're going to work out.
Mm-hmm. And it's also like your health correlates with your company as well. Like they're like a direct.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys talk about working out now, and they just started working out a year ago, and good for them. But the thing is you let time pass you. Yeah. I got guys that work for me that do trash removal that have been with me for 8 or 9 years. Mm-hmm. If you ask him, he's 25 25 years old, 26 years old. He started working out when he was 15, never missed a day of working out.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I mean, you can't, and the older you get, the metabolism gets slower. So,
Yeah.
you know, you got to work out. At your young age, I mean, you can eat whatever you want. You can be a trash can eater and you're not going to gain weight.
Yeah.
But the thing is, as that time goes and you work too much and you got stress and you eat bad, it starts catching up. You go from weighing 180 pounds to 350 pounds.
You're like, how did this happen?
And 25 years goes by, or 10 years goes by quick, and then you're turning, and now you got to work on trying to work it off. And
Yeah.
so for me, like, even when I was 20, when I was in college, obviously, you remember this. I mean, we always worked out when you were in school, right?
Yeah.
They always had like a gym, you work out. Yeah. I had an old friend of mine used to tell me this, from day one, like when I was started in college and I didn't want to work out even in college. He's like, let me ask you a question. He's like, do you brush your teeth every moment? I go, of course I do. I know where he's going with this. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, I brush my teeth in the morning and the afternoon and at night. He goes, well, your teeth and your body are the same. You need to work out. I don't care if you go in there and work out 10 minutes, 20 minutes on a cardio, and a little bit of weights. You need to do it every day.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it.
So if you brush your teeth every day, why wouldn't you just exercise your body? Even if you just do a little cardio work.
Yeah.
I mean, at your age, at 19, 18, everyone's working out, and then it phases off, and then it's like, okay, now I'm going to go out and party and drink and do all this stuff. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know that about me. I've never drank alcohol.
That's good.
Me too.
She's on.
I don't drink. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't waste my time with all that stuff.
Yeah.
I focus on making money.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
because those are distractions.
Oh yeah.
And that's one thing I learned from Grant many, many years ago. Like, the distractions never really pay off. When all your friends are going to go out and party, and waste money on the clubs and the VIP stuff. And I did that stuff when I was, younger. Yeah. But it's all irrelevant. Those people come and go, and they're not in your life anymore.
Yeah.
So you're better off just not wasting your time on the drugs or the alcohol, the drinking, the driving, getting DUI. All that stuff's a waste of time.
Accurate.
And Grant, if I'm not wrong, he was like drug addict up until like 27 or so, right?
Yeah.
So imagine all those years that he missed where he could have been, building his company from such an earlier time.
But, that's, for me, like, even in my 30s, I just focused on my business, that was what I focused on. But first thing, getting back to that, dog, gym, I try and go in at least for 45 minutes. I try to do 15, 20 on the bike, and then I'll do some weights, and I'll mix it up. Some days I'll do chest and arms, or I'll do back and legs, and or sometimes I'll just go in there and hit every machine, do 20 reps on every machine, and do a total body workout. Yeah. And I'll do cardio afterwards, So, sometimes I'll go in there and hit the bag. I mean, sometimes I'll go out there and, and do the rope workouts,
As long as you're doing something, that's all that
keep it
counts.
active.
Body and motion.
Yeah, keep it active. Because as you get older, you'll get weight put on if you don't work out.
Right.
And then from there, is it just going straight to your projects, or you come back to the office? Check
No,
the team?
I dress like a bum all day long. I don't dress up for anybody. I dress in gym clothes all day long.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, do I have nice clothes? Absolutely.
I mean, you're like-
I got all the nice stuff.
You got the merch. You got the
I don't wear any of it. I don't wear any of it.
You're the boss.
I do what I want.
Who do you have to impress?
I go to the gym. If I want to shower and change, I'll shower and change. But I'm gym clothes.
Gotcha.
So
Now, are you focusing on like social media and like building that up?
I'm already when I post a story, that's why you see me not do a lot of posts. Yeah. Like, my posts got weak over the years. I don't know if it's Facebook, because back in 16, I used to like go live and I get a lot of views.
Yeah.
Like, I taught a lot of guys in my space about social media, They didn't know about social media until I was in that space back in 2015, 2016. If you go back through their Facebook page, you'll see.
Oh, you have so many. Yeah. Like,
I was the guy that was active in
YouTube
2015,
videos
2016.
Yeah.
And then, everyone else kind of picked up on it. I was probably one of the first real estate investors in York to do that, because it got Grant and Robert Sislow to help me at that time.
Okay.
So I was probably the first to really beat the social media. Yeah. Now, granted, I still post, but I don't do posts. I just do stories. Right. And when I do story posts, I get anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 views on my. So you got 1,500 or 500 or 800 views on your post. Right. Instead of not the post, the story.
Just the story.
Yeah, and it's just, and that tells you kind of what you need to know, So it's kind of nice to
All right, because your Instagram, you're at like 111,000.
I don't even know. I don't even care about that stuff. See, I just care about, like, I post stuff and
Interaction.
And the reason I asked that, like, are you looking to do any mentoring at all too, or?
I do mentoring. I have a couple people I mentor, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I offer that on my website. So some people, I make them do the program first.
Yeah.
Which I kept it really cheap. It's like $1,500. So they go through and get the whole format of what to do. Yeah. And if they can't afford $1,500, I'll do the $147 a month.
Right.
If they're a veteran, I'll give it to them for free.
Well,
That's nice of you.
that's a good
So
bonus for veterans.
yeah, so I've done so. I'll do that for free for them. But the thing is, it's not for everyone. You guys know this. This business is very, very not easy.
No.
So they can do that and say, I don't want to do it. And then I got two dozen people I mentor at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I do it in like a 6-month interval, and I charge a flat fee for that.
Yeah.
I don't want to discuss that on here.
We'll talk
But I mean, I do, I do mentoring. I mean, if you guys wanted some help, I'd do it for you guys for free. But
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, I
you know,
appreciate that.
yeah, I mean, you guys are local. So, but like a lot of guys, like I get so many messages, like you'd be surprised the amount of messages I get. I mean, because, I don't post my cars to show off. I post my cars because I enjoy them.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Good
people
thing.
are like, oh my God, well, how do I get one of those? I'm like, well, hell, let's see. It's going to take you
Here, buy this
10
boat here.
years.
I think it's so easy.
It's
like
not.
there's so much behind the scenes that people don't see. Like right now, I mean, previously we talked about how like we were broke and stuff. We kind of still are until this refinance goes through. But like,
You refinance out a rental?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big,
Yeah.
Oh, 5 unit.
Yeah, that's good. The thing is, rates suck.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got a 9 1/4 on that.
But look, we got it for 165 and it appraised for 650.
So you're going to refi out. That's good.
Yeah.
Now, the key with that, and we didn't talk about it, bouncing back, that's what I did back in 2009,
Yeah.
is take that money and go buy more rentals with it.
Yeah.
That's how I built my rental portfolio. People don't realize that, but that's how I built my rental. I had over 350 units with no partners, just me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd buy, renovate, refinance, and do it all over again.
Yeah.
And what happened for me over the years, as we went further into owning these,
Yeah.
the debt got paid down,
Right.
the rents went up,
Yeah.
and I just cash flow more and more every single month. And I would crunch my numbers every year to see what I would net cash flow.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into exotic cars. I was like, oh man, what kind of car can I get? And what my residual rent's gonna pay for this,
Yeah.
right? Because you can't write the car off, but the residual rent,
Right. Well, what
They-
about the G-Wagon? Because it's over 6,000 pounds.
I wrote those off.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah, I wrote those.
I knew that.
I had 8 G-Wagons in 3 years.
Yeah.
my God.
You like them or no?
No, I hate them, but
Really?
I like them for the write-off.
I'd heard people say they're like uncomfortable.
They ride like crap.
Yeah. That's like our dream car.
Is it really? I don't know. All these girls like these G-Wagons. I
I don't know.
had every one of them. I just don't.
I want the Ferrari or the Lambo. That's where I would be.
Everyone asks me, like, what's my favorite?
You gotta choose the Ferrari, right?
I think the Ferrari's probably my favorite. I actually have a new 296 sitting at the dealership right now.
Do you?
Yeah, they're going to probably deliver it to me next week.
Yeah.
We're at like,
ever-
yeah. Do you have to
I
try
bought
it
that
out?
from Palm Beach. you
Okay,
know.
I was gonna say,
So, but my F8 I bought from Algarve, Philly.
yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
So, but out of all the cars, I mean, Lambo's cool, but everyone forgets it's just an Audi, And I see that, I see all the Audi parts on it.
He has an Audi.
They're great cars. But, I mean, your Lambo has a Lambo badge that has all Audi A-arms and Audi.
Yeah.
It's just all Audi under the.
Yeah, it's like the R8 and the
I mean, I love the R8 too. I'm a car guy. I love R8. I love the R8.
Right,
exact same car.
I bought my first new Lamborghini in 2009. Brand new.
Gallardo?
It was a 610
Oh, a 6.
dash 4, yeah.
Nice.
Or 610 dash, 4. It was the redesigned rear end with the smooth lights in the back.
Yeah.
That was my first new car. I bought my first new Lambo then. Before that, I had a Lambo in 06 when the Gallardo came out.
Yeah.
I had one in 08, and then I switched to Ferrari after that. I kind of like the Ferrari more.
Yeah.
But I like McLaren too.
McLarens are nice too, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever ventured into like the 911s or anything?
I've had some 911s.
Have you?
Yeah. I mean, I like it. It's a great German car. It's really same thing. It's Audi, Porsche,
Yeah.
Volkswagen, Lambo.
I'm a huge car guy, so
I mean,
I'm always watching like
awesome.
Motor Trend or all those channels, and they're straight up just like 911's like winning every single.
Oh, it is, but nothing like a Ferrari. I mean, it's
Dude, I love the city part right now.
You over here drooling?
not like a Ferrari.
I
mean, it comes out of its own factory. It's not shared parts. It's even the McLaren. Nothing like a McLaren. I mean, I got the cheap version one, the GT.
Okay.
But everyone's like, well, why don't you have the 720? I'm like, I don't want to spend the extra money for 720. I mean, the doors go up. It's cool.
They do
looking.
the same thing, yeah.
It's fast. It's comfortable. It's got pano roof in it.
Yeah.
You ever taken to the racetrack?
No, but I've driven on the Daytona 500 driveway. Yeah, with my F8 actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you had to go 80 miles an hour around the turns, or you'd fall down, slide down.
Oh shoot. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
What speed did you get it up to?
Oh, I had up to 180, 190 miles an hour.
No way. That's awesome.
You had to wear a helmet and like a full body, like a fire suit. And maybe.
Wow. I bet that was so fun.
Yeah, but it was your own car, which
Yeah.
is cool. Yeah, it was a fire
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to kind of jump back into real estate. With you scaling your company and stuff, were you the one like kind of creating all the documentations of like, okay, this is your task of what you need to do, like all the SOPs?
So for the individual employees, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone that works for me has their job titles and their job descriptions. And if they follow it, we don't have problems. If they don't follow it, we've got a problem.
Right.
So they got to follow that. You know, when it comes to legal or accounting, that all goes through the attorneys and prepare all that properly for me.
Yeah.
Same thing with the CPA stuff, goes through the CPA. Just because I'm not an expert with numbers,
Yeah.
I'm not an expert in legal, so I hire them. And, you know, I think I spend 60, 80 grand a year in legal
fees.
But it's well worth it.
and my CPA bill was like 70 grand last year.
It's probably going to save you like $500,000 if you mess up. Or $1 million.
It's just better to have the professionals do that. But you got to have the right ones, you know. So, you know, I think, like I said, I spent 70 grand with my CPA last year. That's a lot to spend with a CPA. That's a lot. But,
Yeah.
I mean, if they're doing their job,
Yeah.
They're saving you more than 70
it's
grand.
worth it, you know. Like every September, October, November, December, we're trying to plan out how to,
And you file quarterly as well?
yeah.
That's something that we need to start doing. We've just been doing yearly for the past 2 years, but I heard that actually if you're not filing quarterly as a business, you're actually getting a fee added on.
Yeah, and I have multiple entities. You know, and you guys, everyone knows the common ones, but they don't know the uncommon ones. So, like, I got a lot of moving parts.
Right. Okay.
You know, because I'll use Montana LLCs, I'll use Delaware LLCs. You know, I have PA LLCs.
Yeah.
Because I don't want everyone to know my business and what I do.
Yeah. Oh, trust. We do the same thing. Like we don't.
Yeah, I mix it up. I
there.
mix it up really well. Like,
Yeah.
I don't just.
It's hard to keep track of.
Well, no, it's not for me. It's not. I have all
Well, no,
the
not
corporate
for you.
books
I'm
in the
saying
safe,
for-
and I know what I got to do, and I
Other
just got to
people.
make sure the the CPA, the attorney knows what's going on for the basics, and then from there you task everything out.
Kind of going back to the SOPs that she was talking about, for your contractors, do you have like the exact materials that you want on all these properties? Or are you still like hand picking?
So all subcontractors must do an independent contract agreement that's prepared by my attorney.
Okay.
They must have a state license. They must have a business card. They must sign a W-2. But the most important form is the independent contract agreement. Okay, which legalizes everything. You guys have one of those? You ought to have one. I'll give you one if you need one. Mine's really well. Mine's very, very well. So they have to have that. And then we have a huge binder upstairs in the filing cabinet, huge binders of all the subs, all delegated by last name of the companies. And then that's how we delegate that. And one of the girls here handles all that filing for me. As for their task on a job, it's important to understand the job that when you buy it, know what you're getting yourself into.
Right.
And I talk about that in my book.
Right.
You know, what to look for. I break it down. So same thing, you know, walk the deal with if you're not going to do it yourself, you know, and new people should always walk with themselves. That's the only way you're going to learn. Walk it yourself, understand what you're getting yourself into, get some quotes.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you do rehabs, you'll learn real fast.
Because,
What's good, what's not.
Right. We've
Who's
had
good, who's not.
Oh yeah, we've been.
Who's good, who's not. That's the biggest thing. The who's good, who's not is even more important.
Yeah, because when you're getting several quotes on the same project and there's like thousands of dollars difference, it's like, okay, are you trying to screw me over? Or is this guy just not know what the hell?
Or are they missing something? Or,
Exactly.
you know, that's why you got to really ask the questions.
Yeah.
The guys I use have been really, like, if you need help with contractors, I've got guys that you're trustworthy, you know.
And when you're sending your guys to like, 8 hours away on the other side of PA, are you paying for them to stay there? And like,
Absolutely. Yeah, I pay for everything. I pay for the gas. I pay for the transportation. I pay for the hotels. I pay for all their food allowance.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I pay for everything. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And you're still making such a large margin on these properties.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's like, why would you just hire someone local? I've tried that. You know what? You give the people a deposit and these
They just
They just go away. Yeah.
they disappear.
Yeah.
So I'm better off just paying for the hotels are $80, $100 a night. Who cares? You go for the whole week.
Yeah.
You know, so get double beds or whatever. And I cover their food, their gas, they're driving a company car.
Right.
And
I'll work for this guy.
you know, I have one right now. I can share the address with you, you know, when I get it on the market. But I bought it for, you won't even believe me when I tell you this. I bought it for,
This is all direct to seller.
this was a tax sale.
Tax
I
sale.
bought it for $6,000
Wow.
Where?
in Oswego.
I don't even know where that's at.
It's far, 5 hours away, 4.5.
Yeah.
Bought it for $6,000. I sent my team up there. They were there for 4 weeks. I've got 50 in the rehab. The realtor told me that she's going to list it for $149,900.
Wow. That's a good spread.
You know, granted, you know, no one's finding deals around here, but I'm still popping these hitters outside of town.
And when you're sending them like way outside of town, are they just sending Home Depot for the materials?
Lowe's or Home Depot.
Home Depot?
You have to be on your account. You have to be on. That's one thing you got to do. You got to make sure they're trustworthy because you have to put them on your account in order for them to buy it.
Right.
If they're not on your account, they can't buy up there.
Yeah.
So these are guys that worked for me for a long time. You know, these are guys that when they're in need, I've helped them.
Yeah.
You know, hey, my mom's car broke down. Can I borrow $3,000?
Right.
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
Yeah.
They pay you back, or sometimes they don't. It is what it is. But
Another thing, it just seems like you honestly have like a really big heart for not only your team, but I've also heard in the past, like you've owned a couple properties where you let some older folks live rent free.
well, I bought them a tax sale, and they were generational owners, and you know, Grant made fun of me for that.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know, I wasn't going to kick out a guy that's been in his family for 100 years, so I bought it for $5 or $6 or $7 tax sale. I'm here. Here's the deed. It's yours back again. In fact, on my desk over there, I have a check somewhere over there that I wrote for $3 or $4 to lend someone money just to help them. You know, they had their electric bill. They were getting shut off, so it was one of my employees. But I let her $3,000 or $4,000. I saw my checks on the desk over there somewhere. I let her $3,000 or $4,000 to pay it up because
See, this is why.
she was going to shut it down. Most guys like me in this business don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and this is
They're all
why-
worried about their money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure this is why your employees are sticking around for that 5, 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah, I have no.
You treat
I have
them-
no new employees, like none. Like
you
even
treat
through
them like
COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, my employees all work from home.
Yeah.
And I
what
paid
do
them.
you think makes them stay? Is it like commission based? You think it's just the money?
I pay a lot. I pay well. I pay well. I pay well.
Do you put yourself on a W-2?
I take salary every single week.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot. And sorry,
Off camera, I'd
Yeah,
love to know.
it's a lot.
Off camera, I'd love to know.
And then of course I take owner's draws.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, so
Yeah.
but the S corps, you have to take a salary.
Yeah.
You have to.
Gotcha. You're an S corp, right?
I have S, I have C's, I have LLCs, I have,
Trust.
like I said, I have PA, other state.
Yeah.
You know, people won't even know the stuff's in my name. That's how good it is. Propstream's not going to show it to you.
No.
What is it like? You put in land trusts and stuff, and that's how?
I just set up new LLCs and under the attorney law offices there, and
Oh.
even some of the cars I have are in Montana LLC.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Why do I do that?
Just
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, for your fix and flips, you have property project managers, but for your rentals, do you have a property management
The
company?
girls in here do it all. They do it all.
Oh, so you self-manage everything then?
Yeah, I self-manage everything.
Whenever you have like a maintenance call or something, are you just sending one of your contractors out there to take care of it?
No, so I have on payroll. My one guy's been with me for almost 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's a master plumber.
Okay.
He's on my payroll. And then I've got another guy on payroll. He's a master plumber and a master electrician. He's on payroll full time. He's been with me for 7 years now, since 2000. Well, then 2017. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
So most of my guys have been, you know, here's what I found. When I take it from other companies will fire these people and they come to me, I want a job. I worked there and they were so great. Right. And I get on, I'm like, yeah, you weren't that great. You know, I try you out, you don't show up to work.
Yeah.
And then I just have to like cut them loose, you know, because
So it's kind
they get mismanaged at the other locations. You know, other competitors don't manage. They have their project managers managing them. They really aren't checking on them. They don't really know what's going on. So these guys quit and they end up coming to work for me. Right. And some of them worked out, some of them didn't. But
yeah, that all comes with experience.
you gotta let people kind of make their own way. And if they don't figure it out pretty quick, then they're probably not a good fit for your team.
Right.
Okay. Do you do all the hiring yourself, or do you have somebody who conducts the interviews?
I do most of the hiring myself. Yeah.
Have you kind of caught on to like any repetitive traits of a person that you would like to work for you?
It's nowadays it's so hard, that the ones you think they're going to be great turn out to be not great, and the ones that
They can put on such a face during the interview.
I know, but I haven't really had to hire anyone because
You had everyone's for something.
Yeah, I mean,
why have a whole bunch of people working for you when I can just listen with a real estate agent, right? A slimline that. I don't need 3 buyers specialists, 4 buyer specialists when I can just.
like dispositions.
Right. I mean, I could just put on the MLS. Now, granted, my call center people, they find them, they lock them up, and they dispel them.
And you just get a check in the mail.
Every time. No.
As easy as that.
I mean, it's a free space. Yeah. So you asked about that. So I've got 5 local callers, and 5 in-house that do nothing but calls all day. Yeah. And then I told you my number for overseas.
Yeah.
And that's the number you need to be doing. You need to ramp it up.
We'll work on that for sure.
So
we definitely need to.
Can't tell all my competitors.
Nah.
No, you're all good. Yeah, I mean,
I can share it with you, but because you guys are up and coming, and the thing is, you guys want to make your own way, and the things that work for me may not all work for you, and the things that work for the other guy you may have interviewed, the stuff he's done may not work for him. Right. The thing is, most people you interview aren't going to tell you about all the losses they had, or the companies they've tried and failed. They don't tell you that stuff.
Have you had any major losses? No.
The only thing I would say is my marketing agency that I had that for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And I closed that down after COVID. But I used the same team that managed that's why I was like, you know what? I said to these guys, after COVID, I said, why do we want to manage a bunch of accounts for $1,500 a piece?
Right.
Yeah.
Right? We had dozens of accounts at $1,500 a piece a month. But why manage that? That's when we got into creating my real estate program. And we did that back in 2019. So I've had my real estate program for 5 years. And it does very well. I can't discuss the numbers, but it does very well. Are people copying me and making real estate program? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm way ahead of them by 5 years, and the same with the book. But the program, once I got that team to say, hey, we don't want to manage with people's accounts because it's just a headache. I said, let's just manage my stuff. Let's make a program.
Yeah, scale that.
And they did.
Right.
And, and they put it together and they made it profitable. And it's still profitable to this day. So at this point, I just let them manage that while we still, I don't have that company name anymore, but we still have that LLC around. I just use it for the program. Yeah. All the deposits go into that account for the program.
Gotcha.
And for your real estate deals, are you getting most of them direct to seller or tax sale?
We do a lot of cold calling, as you know. So we got a lot of direct to seller stuff, but I do a lot of tax sales. I got all 64 counties.
Wow.
Do you focus at all on the more of the inbound side? So like PPC, affiliates, referrals.
I mean, I've got some big hitters like Nick Perry, huge in PPC. He's a friend of mine. I talk to him all the time.
I think he spoke at Zach's meetup or something.
Well, he might have. I mean, he's huge. He lives overseas. I mean, you have to have that dialed in perfectly or you're going to waste a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Nick's got to figure it out.
Yeah.
He did my program. I did his program.
Okay.
So we mixed, we shared.
There you go.
So, you gotta always add value.
So yeah, we just, I charge him, he charged me. He charged a lot more for his program. I think he charges like full tram, but but I mean, I'm a sponge. I'll learn. I want to learn.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
So you never stop learning. I mean, here's what I will say. At your age, you're at the prime age to really make some major changes. And that you can, by the time you're in your 30s, you could have, by the time you're 35, you could really be living off of residual rental income. Yeah. I actually retired last October. And
it doesn't seem like
I did. No, I did. I retired.
Yeah.
And I had someone else, I had some other guys that were going to run my company for me. And they still kind of do.
Yeah.
I just don't brag about it.
You don't
I don't call them titles. I don't call them titles. So I did that, and I went away for like a couple weeks. And I was like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
I got bored. I was like, this sucks. I got to get back in.
That's what I think is going to happen, yeah. I got boring.
Because when you do it for 20 plus years, that's all you really know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all you know, but I love cars, man. I love people dabble in the cars.
Yeah.
I mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I mix it up. Here, I'll show you. I mean, I got this new ride that's, literally just hit the dealership. And the thing is, most people think you lose money on cars. You buy the right cars, you don't lose any money. Right. I mean, every Ferrari I've ever owned, I've made money on. That's the new 296, just sit in the dealership.
Well, that's so nice.
That's so pretty.
So, yeah, the dealer just sent this to me, the pictures.
That's awesome.
So,
So what's your, you have all these cars. Do you have, a dream car, your next big purchase?
I had an SF90 Spider on order.
Yeah.
I haven't got it yet.
I was say I could see you with like probably like an old F40 or something.
No, that's out of my price range, man. Those guys that buy them, that's millions and millions.
You just buy that, let it sit in the garage.
Yeah, I have all the cars I had now sit in the garage.
Yeah, you drive all of them.
We can drive them.
I drove I was just telling the guy on the phone on the way here, because I was coming back from an appointment in Dover. I put 300 miles on my McLaren last year. I put 900 miles on my Ferrari last year.
Yeah.
And I put 660 miles on the Lambo last year.
Wow.
That's it.
That's not much at all.
Yeah, because I just sit in the garage.
What's your daily?
Usually I drive, I had the G-Wagon for I was driving G-Wagons forever.
Yeah.
My daily now is the Hummer EV. I love it.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, I have the Hummer EV.
I've seen a couple of those on the road now.
I mean, it's 1,000 horsepower to the wheels.
Yeah.
It's got 35-inch
I love how
tires.
the back wheels turn.
Yeah, it's all-wheel steering, and the T-tops come off like a Jeep. All four roofs come off. So I've been driving that since I sold the G-Wagons, because all my G-Wagons I made money on. My dealer sold them to me. I drive them for 6 months because they made me sign a paper.
Yeah.
And I would take them to the sale then and make 30, 40, 50 grand on a G-Wagon. I had a rate.
Good investment.
It was. I mean, buy it, drive it, sell it, buy it, drive it, sell it. I mean, It's like a Burr method for cars, but not really, you know.
And
Take a course on that.
I know I should. That's what everyone says. But so, you know, and I got to drive some cool cars, and make some money with them. And I mean, I will say I lost on my Aston Martin a little bit.
What kind of drove?
I had a DBX.
Okay.
Yeah, I lost on that one. I had two of them actually. I had a white and a black. I lost on both of those actually. Not much, but I mean, I drove them for 6-8 months.
Yeah.
Maybe lost. I think on the black one I lost 22 grand, which is a lot. It's a lot. And then on the white one, I think I lost 10 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to how much you're making, it's like...
But the cars are cool. They were cool cars to have.
Yeah. Nice to drive.
I just sold my SL63 AMG. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't. What color?
Black.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a 212 sticker.
Okay.
I bought a pre-owned with 300 miles on it. The guy wanted rid of it. He was begging me to buy it.
Why?
Because he has a big construction company in Minnesota. He's like, I want rid of this thing. The dealer offered me nothing for it. I said, I'll give you 125 grand for it. I sent a truck. It's okay. So we did a deal for 125 grand. I sent a truck out to pick it up. Took 2 weeks because of Minnesota.
Yeah.
I get the car back here. I drove it for daily for the last 3 months.
No way.
Last Friday, I took it to Manheim. It did 135 grand in the lane.
Really?
Yeah, I made 10 grand and I drove it.
There you go.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Can't beat that.
You know, so you're not going to win on every car, but
Yeah.
certain cars you will. Now, you don't want to buy that kind of car new.
Yeah.
You got a new Ferrari, new Lambo, you're probably going to make money because of that. A new Porsche 911, you'll make money. They do GT3, oh my God.
2 918 Spiders.
Dude, wow, those are another game. But like a GT3, you'd make a ton of money on it. If you could buy one at MSRP, you'd make 50, 60, 80, 100 grand.
We're going to have a whole nother
And drive it,
podcast
and
just
drive
on
it,
cars.
and drive it. So,
No, I can't wait.
so,
I'm so excited.
You're also into watches, too.
oh yeah, I do. You guys see that post a lot of that stuff. I collect a lot of watches.
Yeah, he posted.
So they are. So my buddy owns Carbon Watch Company in Naples. Okay.
Okay.
I'm a huge Rolex advocate. Obviously, I had, I don't know, 24 Rolexes.
Yeah.
And I've turned them. I bought some, wore some, sold some,
Yeah.
gave some to my daughter. Obviously, she got a couple
Yeah.
out of it. But I can tell you, like going back when I first started in this business, one thing I learned when I was a new real estate agent, everyone always looked at how you dressed and what watch you had on.
Yeah.
Like you had as guys, right?
In your cars. They look at
And the cars, yeah. So, like, I bought my first Submariner, I think, back in, it was 2002. And two-tone Submariners were like $6,000 back then or something like that for a two-tone with the blue dial.
Yeah, that's cheap.
I wore it for 10 years and sold that watch for like 9 or 10 grand. Okay. So I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. So then I got into collecting watches. I mix it up. I do APs, Hublot, Rolex.
Yeah.
I got some vintage Omegas that I bought back in 2009, 10 that I'd never wore.
Yeah.
I mix it up. I mean, but I've also made money on watches. I got 2 Cerachrome ceramic Daytonas that I bought.
Mm-hmm.
Wore those for a year and a half and made couple grand on each one of those.
Yeah.
You know, so I mix it up. Sometimes I wear the iced out stuff, which some people criticize, and then sometimes I wear the basic.
Yeah.
Deep sea. I have a deep sea on.
You know, whatever you like, you just got to do.
Dress like a bump and
Have some nice watches.
I can't. I won't wear an Apple Watch. Like I can't. I don't have an Apple Watch on. Any of you
That
guys
would
have
have
Apple
been
Watches
bad.
on? Oh God.
I don't got one.
You can't wear. Okay,
Oh,
function's one thing, but Apple Watch on a grown man.
All right, we get into the store right after this.
Sorry, I just can't do it. I mean, like to me, if you're gonna get an Apple Watch, like Breitling makes a smartwatch. It's called the B55. It's like an Apple Watch,
Okay.
Get a Breitling or get a Tag Heuer or get.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The Apple Watch thing. I mean, I gotta say, for everybody,
I feel like Apple Watch is better than Fitbit.
Well, I think it's not like the same concept.
I don't know.
It's more health.
It's just the Apple Watch is driving. Sorry, man. I mean, you got a cool buckle on yours at least. I mean, it's function.
Don't bypass it.
But and I got a Richard Mille too.
Oh, do you?
If you see me post there,
I don't know.
you guys, you think that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much do you think that's going for?
Look it up.
Look at it.
What?
Yeah.
That's funny.
But I mean, the Apple Watch thing, like I don't know, I just can't. Like these guys wearing Apple Watches. Like I go to events, I see these guys speaking, and they're like, "Yeah, I'll call you back." Like you're on an Apple Watch. I mean, it's function, I guess, but it just looks like it just doesn't make sense to me.
Start taking off the watch.
I just don't get it. Like I don't know, Sonny. I just don't get it. I don't want to talk to my watch. Can't pull the car around.
Yeah.
It's a new gen thing, I guess.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like I have a friend of mine that makes a lot of money, and he was wearing an Apple Watch forever. I'm like, dude, we're boating together. I'm like, dude, why do you have an Apple Watch on? Like, get a Rolex or get something else. And he finally took the plunge and didn't wear his Apple Watch anymore.
Yeah. I have one at home. It was a Christmas present, but I haven't worn it in months.
Do I own an Apple Watch? Yes, I do. Do I wear it? No. It was a gift. I don't wear it.
Same boat.
It is functional. You get the gym and stuff. It is kind of nice, but I don't know. Like I like timepieces, like
Right.
timepiece, and that's just.
It just looks nice. Right.
And I mean, we are coming to a close, but we want to talk about your goals. Like, what are your goals for 2024?
For me, I'm vacationing a lot.
Yeah. You go golf.
Not a golf. I think it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
I want a vacation. Yeah. So I'll be vacation. You'll see me out on the boat a lot probably this summer.
Where at?
Ocean City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have your own boat and dock up?
Oh yeah.
Nice. You got a beach house?
Oh, yeah.
You got everything.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Come fall, like with this whole thing I'm doing the licensing in Florida now, you're going to see me down there more too in the wintertime.
Yeah,
Not summertime.
like any business related goals or?
Yeah, I mean, this new thing with the licensing of the cash now is one of my new goals. I've been wanting to do that for 10 years. I finally implemented it. Yeah. It took 10 years.
Wow.
So at what point did you realize like you were able to then do that?
People approaching me, coming to me, asking me if could I franchise my name? And so I talked to some attorneys and.
How do you figure out kind of like what it's worth? Like how much
I had the attorneys help me with that, valuation wise.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but I will say, you got to get back to basics. I always tell everyone this: you got to work hard for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put the time in. You got to, especially in this business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you got to make the numbers happen. The only way to make numbers happen is to create a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
How do you create a lot of numbers?
Quantity.
Calls,
Lots of calls.
direct mail.
Mm-hmm.
The SMS.
Yeah.
Which a lot of stuff's getting a little illegal, I think, but you got to be careful.
It is with SMS.
PPC, is not illegal, so you got to mix it up. I mean, for us, I do a lot of tax sales. I go to all the sheriff sales. I buy a lot of stuff at sheriff sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only buy the vacant stuff. Now, granted, if I buy something by accident like I did, I just gave it back to the guy. I'm like, I did that twice in my career. Right. Yeah. Gave it back to him.
Just being a nice guy at that point. It is what it is.
I mean, it's $6,000 in the scheme of things. I mean, it's like we buy Apple phones for $1,000.
Yeah.
You do that 4, 5, 6 times right there.
The case.
I don't think.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's like it doesn't make sense to. I get the Apple phone, I assume the Apple Watch. Sorry.
So when you're buying one of these fix and flips, do you have like a margin, like a base minimum?
Yeah, I mean, for years my minimum was 40 on a flip.
40.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have reduced that down to $25,000 on a flip as the minimum.
So we always look for around 30. So
Yeah, 25 is my minimum. Now, do I really? I settled one today. That's where I was coming from.
Yeah.
I bought it for 95. I renovated it for 50.
Okay.
I sold it for 293.
Wow, that's a great spread.
Yeah.
A huge spread.
Yeah.
The one before that I settled a couple weeks ago. I give you the address. You can look these things up on, you can see the tax return when I bought them for and sold them for. You'll see, like, I'll give you some of these addresses so you can validate some of these things. That's why I always tell people when I go to events and speak, I make them look the addresses up. Because I don't have the bullshit.
Because there's a lot of
I'll tell you the facts. These are facts.
Yeah.
I did another one across the street. Call center got this for me. So the call center, I keep the best bacon deals for myself and I wholesale the rest. So that was one that came out of the call center.
Yeah.
The other one they got me for the same seller, $47,500 on a mobile home. Renovated it for $40,000.
Okay.
And it sounds like a lot for a mobile home, but it's out on 1.5 acres.
Okay.
Listed it for $175,000 and ended up $190,000.
No way.
Hey,
On a mobile home.
that's insane.
Double wide?
Yeah, with a little addition on it. If you want, I'll jot those addresses down. You can look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane for
Yeah. So those are big numbers on retail numbers. Like those are not meeting the minimums.
Yeah.
But now, do I do some minimum ones? Yeah, I do. Because, one thing I can say, even, when the market got slow, my guys all stay busy because I always keep inventory handy.
Gotcha.
So if I have to make $25,000, I'll make $25,000. It's still 4 times that.
Oh, I just thought of a question.
Yeah.
Last question.
There you go. What do you got?
But do you buy on the MLS or no?
I used to a lot, and I have recently a little bit, but you got to really scour that. It's not easy.
It's hard.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
And there's deals on MLS, but right now there may not be.
We've never bought a deal on the MLS yet.
I used to a lot of the bank owners. I bought a lot of the bank owners off the MLS.
Yeah.
Instead of going to share sale because they would be clean, ready to go titles,
Right.
without any headaches. I go to share sales now and I buy 3 to 5 every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't you have to bring all cash to those too?
You have 10 days to pay. 10
days?
Okay, that's not bad.
So I try to, look around for some money to pay for these things.
Right. Are you using a lot of your own money or private money?
Yeah.
I thought so. But I wasn't sure.
I had lines of credit too, but I mean,
Yeah.
I use a lot of money. And you could do the same thing. Like, with your guys' new LLC, there's some things you could be doing to get lines of credit against that LLC outside of your refinance.
We do have a business credit cards. So.
Yeah.
Smart. Don't use your personal so that it brings your credit score down. If you're doing rehab work.
Right.
Dude, we ran into this one issue actually on our very first refi where they stuck the refi in our personal names. It dropped our credit by like 50 points.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's like this was through an LLC. Why is it attached to my personal at all?
Yeah, it shouldn't have been. Yeah.
And now they can't reverse it. So.
Yeah, you got to really use your business credit and not your personal and keep your credit score high. Yeah. Banks will eventually look at all that and, you want to keep your credit score as high as you can.
Right.
But do the lending through your business.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I know guys that borrow millions of dollars in their business. Yeah, great. You're still personally guaranteeing it.
Yes.
But it's not going to show up in your credit report unless you default.
Yeah. Right.
So.
Well, Ray, we truly appreciate you coming on.
That's all you got? That's all you got?
We're gonna have to do a part 2.
I got a lot. Like, I want to dive more into the education side and any more tactical step by step.
But I don't know if they're going to let us go that long.
But no, this was great. Honestly, just like
good time
in the story. And once again, like to the viewers,
he
obviously has a lot of nice stuff and he's able to afford that. But it's like years and years and years of hard work and dedication.
Nothing happens overnight.
Exactly.
You got to put the time in. And you guys are, anyone that's in the lower 20s, tell my daughter the same thing at 19. This is why I told you I wanted her to meet you so you can talk.
Yeah, we got to meet. Yeah.
The thing is with you being young, you have more energy, you have more time, right? You have more time. You don't have kids and all the pets and all this stuff.
No risk or anything.
Right. So you got more time. If it's 9:30, 10:30, you got to go do a deal. Go do the deal at 10:30. Who cares? Right. You got to drive an hour and a half to get there. Go do the deal.
Yeah.
Okay. But the thing is at your age, take as much knowledge as you can from people, and sit down and write it all down. What this worked for this guy. This worked for this girl. Yeah. Because it's not just guys. This worked for this girl. This worked for this guy. This worked for this girl. And then you take and pick and choose what's going to be best to fit your model, because what worked for me isn't going to work for you.
Right. I think that's honestly like one of the huge benefits of us doing this podcast, not only getting to meet everybody and network, but also like actually understanding how they went through and developed their business versus one of their competitors, and just kind of noticing what the differences may be and what worked for this person.
Yeah, and let's face it, like a lot of guys that'll say they're successful, like and I see this all the time. I go to these events, I see these guys speak, and I'm like,
I saw your Honda Civic out there.
Like the thing is like girls not so much, except for the G-Wagons, right? Yeah. Guys love cars.
I love nice cars.
Okay? Yeah. So if you're making money, don't act like you're I don't want to buy that because I could afford that. Yeah. I've had guys say I could afford that, but I don't buy it. I drive my truck instead. Yeah. Well, guess what? I have 7 company trucks, and I got one for myself.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a brand new F-250. Okay, I drive a truck too, but
I still get the stuff I like, right?
you get this stuff. You you sit there and you say this, and then you don't buy nothing exotic. It does the mathematics, and then you're in an Apple Watch. I mean, I'm sorry, dude. I see this, and I'm like, what? I mean, and everyone got different goals, but like you and I both know, like one thing I can tell you as a young kid, I loved watches, I loved real estate, I loved cars.
Yeah.
If you're making money, you're going to buy the car. You're making money, you're going to buy the watch.
Right.
You know, you're making money. What are you going to do? If you made $250,000 this year, would you buy a G-Wagon? Yes or no?
I wouldn't.
Why?
Because I'm still living with my parents.
If you made $250,000 this year, net, not gross, you wouldn't buy a G-Wagon.
How much can you take a...
Because I wouldn't be comfortable. I wouldn't...
Like 80, 100?
Hold on. If you made $250,000 net,
Yeah.
not gross,
Right.
hear me out of this. You could go buy a nice little townhouse somewhere.
Well, look, is it passive? Is it like consistent money coming in, or what are we talking about?
Okay, we'll just say consistently you could make $250,000 a year. You know that you built your wholesale model. You can make $250,000. I don't give that's a low number.
Yeah.
You can make $250,000 a year for the next 10 years. Would you go out and buy yourself a nice townhouse for $200,000 and maybe?
I wouldn't buy it just because I wouldn't buy it cash probably, but
Absolutely.
just
No one says you have to pay cash.
it's like $2,000.
Anyone tells you that when they buy these exotic cars, I pay cash for it, they're full of shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
I
would
tell these
buy
guys
it,
this all the time.
You don't ever buy yours cash?
I mean, some yes, some no. I mix it up.
Yeah.
If I get a good rate, I'm going to get a good rate.
Right.
Okay? You have to put some money down. They don't let you do it with no money. You got to put 20,
Some.
30, 40% down.
Right.
But a G-Wagon, let's say, for example, you buy one, let's say the brand new one's $150,000. You can put $150,000 down, borrow $100,000. Your payment's going to be what, $1,200 a month?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Yeah.
You're making $250,000 a year, $1,200 a month.
That's nothing.
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 You can then go maybe buy a house or a townhouse somewhere that you would like, that you maybe redid yourself and built that equity into it.
And I would use that for marketing to make even more money.
Exactly.
Yo, my social media would go crazy.
But you see my point? Like you can do that's the thing. My point. Like if you made $500,000, would you go buy a Ferrari?
Every year, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know guys that make $250,000 a year that own a Ferrari because the bottom line is they have a little residual income.
Right.
Okay, and that residual income pays their car payment.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing where it's like it's different than actually having just a job because at any point a job you can just lose.
Right.
There goes your entire $250,000 a year. Once you have these rental properties, those tenants aren't leaving, and
That's
if
the
they
thing.
do, you can just refill.
As young investors, if you build that rental portfolio now, and that foundation's there, by the time you're 30, 32, 33 years old, guys, you're going to be like comfortable with your rental income that if you wanted to go, buy a house with your residual income and have that payment covered, you could do that. Right. You wanted, and maybe you're not a car person, you just want the house.
Yeah.
Or maybe, you want both. You do the house and the car.
Yeah.
But, when I did this rental portfolio building, my goal was to make sure I had enough money to cover my house payments, my car payments.
Do you want to tell them what your number came out to?
Yeah, that's so funny. I was just thinking about, we think alike. It's crazy. So I was reading the 4-Hour Work Week, and he basically said, write out your TMI, which is your target monthly income. So you have to write out literally like, what's your house payment going to be? I put like, I want a house cleaner, if I do meal preps, car insurance, house insurance, literally everything. Doberman costs, since I want a Doberman. What else? Like money towards family, because I want to make sure I'm supporting my family.
Yeah, the same thing. College fund for my daughter. I paid in it for 18 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
And my number came to $110,000 a month of what I need to be at to be comfortable. And they say divided by 30 to get your TDI, your target daily income. And it's like a little over $3,000 a month or something like that.
Here's the thing. At your age, it's going to be very hard.
A day.
At your age, right now, to do that kind of number a month is going to be very hard. Anyone tells you anything different is lying to you.
Yeah.
However, you do this what you're doing for the next 5 years,
Yeah.
you could get to that every single month.
I
That
believe
would be not unattainable. Yeah. Now, everyone says set goals, but I always say set goals with realism.
Right.
You got to build your foundations and know how to generate. But I will tell you, you're never going to regret buying rental properties. You buy them right, renovate. Look at this first one. If you could do 10 more like that,
Yeah.
We have a total of 14 doors right now.
so it's good. And how 20?
23.
And we just start 23 as well. And we just started last May.
Right. So,
We're coming up on 1 year now.
yeah, hey, think about this. If you could do,
I mean, we're just gaining experience as we go. Like, finally found some contractors that we like.
right, you could do 30, 30 units a year
Yeah,
for the next 10 years.
Yeah, we got good private money lenders. And our goal is to hit 100 doors actually by the end of this year.
And we want to self-manage, like, just to keep expenses small.
Yeah.
Small. But, like,
I feel like we'll definitely have to get some more people.
we're going to have to branch out, too. I'm thinking we should just stay in Dolphin County.
Well, you could, but if you have to, worst case, you hire one person to come in and work in your office to help you with the rents and the problems and the emails and the maintenance calls. Right. But as you scale that, as you get past 30 units, you're going to have maybe someone helping you because it will take some of your time.
Yeah.
I built the rent roll from scratch, so I know all about it.
Gotcha. I don't know if we're going to add this in the podcast, but we're kind of changing our marketing as well, where before we were doing, as you were saying, like, marketing, cold calling towards single families.
Well, maybe, let's
That's not the REI stuff.
After.
The thing is like you do a good job. I told you this when I saw you for the first time at the Cardone. You do a good job.
I appreciate it.
You just got
I forgot about that car event.
Yeah, I don't forget that stuff.
It's like cars and coffee?
Yeah, she does a good job. The thing is, you take all the information, again, and you try to make things work for you. You guys have time on your age.
Yeah.
People don't realize. I tell my daughter the same thing. I don't have time on my age. Okay? You got 25 years ahead of you of making money. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, I'm goofing off at this point.
Go on vacation. You won it.
Like, you did all
you
that
won.
hard work.
Yeah.
You're already there.
But they sit there and say, "Oh, you can't. You can. I work. A couple hours a day. At your age, don't work a couple hours a day and think you're going to be successful. Mm-hmm. You got to put the time in. Yeah. And make the contacts.
Right.
For you guys, I'm on or off. Right. You guys need to ramp up your cold callers because that's where
we're on still. We didn't end it just.
Ramp your cold caller. Yeah.
No, we definitely.
People don't tell you that. Like, they say, TV's the best thing.
Yeah.
They're lying to you. And the paper's the best thing. They're lying to you.
Yeah.
Cold callers are where it's at.
What are you paying on average for a cold caller overseas?
I think my bill's
like per hour, if you could say.
$6 an hour.
$6 an hour.
Okay.
I know that. I just don't know the exact bill. I think it's $10,000 or $12,000 a month.
Okay.
We're at $450 now.
It's one deal. It's one deal.
No, four an hour, and then we do commissions too.
Yeah, one deal a month at my 10 grand flat fee pretty much covers my cold callers.
And it depends, which country.
Mine are good.
Yeah, I think we do have to actually start expanding, though, outside of just Dolphin County.
Yeah, you do. But hit some of those country bunking towns. It works.
Yeah, we could definitely go up north.
Call me. I'll buy one of them.
Yeah.
I'll buy one of them.
I can hit Halifax and Duncan.
If I don't care about what you paid for it, see, that's the thing. Everyone plays these games. I don't care. Like, I know a lot of guys locally here, they play these games. If the number makes sense for me, I'll buy it for the number makes sense. I don't give a shit if you paid 10 grand or 50 grand, and I'll buy it for 100.
Yeah.
If you're going to make 50 grand, great. As long as I know my numbers are going to work.
Right.
But these guys will play, don't.
Right.
Like, I would have bought that Shippensburg one for sure.
Yeah, I should have called.
And that would have cost me $100 to redo it, probably.
Yeah. How do you usually save on, doing that?
Consistency, all the material that we bought. We do the same rehab. I mean, look at my picture online. It's all the same rehabs over and over.
Yeah. So it's easy for your contractors, just plug and play.
I mean, it is. I mean, we buy the same materials over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we're going to definitely have to do a part 2 in the future.
Yeah,
but,
sorry, guys.
Truly appreciate
Apple
you
Watch
coming on
Part 2.
on the podcast. We'll
All right.
make sure to leave Ray's information down below. If you guys want to get his book, highly recommend it.
For my program.
For the program, check that out. But with that being said, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.